So you're thinking about making that move from California to Salt Lake City, Utah. If that's the case, then you're going to want to stick around, as this video is exactly what you need. We're going to take a deep dive into everything that you need to take into consideration before you pack your bags and head out east to the Salt Lake City area, and we're getting into it right now. Hey, listen, if this is the first time to the channel and you want to know everything about what it's like in the Salt Lake City market, please like and subscribe to our channel. We get phone calls, texts, emails from people just like you all the time looking to make that move from California to the Salt Lake City area. We don't care if you're moving in 9 days or 90 days. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email so that we can help make that smooth move to Salt Lake City. All right, let's jump into it. So the first thing that you're probably wondering is, what is the cost of living like in the Salt Lake City area? Well, according to salary.com, the Salt Lake City, Utah area is roughly 40% cheaper to live in than California. So that is a huge draw for everyone that's moving from California, is the cost of living difference. So the next thing that people are asking me about when making that move to the Salt Lake City area is, what are the weather differences? First off, you need to know that California has the best weather in the entire United States. I have lived all over the US and nothing beats California as far as weather goes for the most part. Salt Lake City has all 4 seasons, so if you want to experience what the other 3 seasons are like, since California just has great, then Salt Lake City is a great area for you. We have a real fall, which we are just heading into right now, where the leaves are changing colors. They're starting to fall off the trees. Your grass isn't growing anymore, so you don't have to mow that until April-ish time frame, which is awesome. You don't have to do any yard work. Amazing, because I don't really like yard work. But the temperatures are starting to cool off. We're seeing 50s to 70s. I think it went 77 the other day. So somewhere in the 50 to 70 degree range. I'm still wearing shorts, so you can still get away with shorts and flip-flops. However, I have added a sweatshirt to my outfit lately because it's so cold. Other than when I'm out showing property to you guys, then I'm dressed a little nicer than that. We did get some snow the other day on the tops of the mountains. It dusted the tops of them, which was cool to see. It seems like it's melted now. So we'll get some more snow probably later this month, once another storm comes through. The bugs and that sort of thing disappear here in the wintertime. Your spiders go away, which that seems to be our biggest bug, and any other snakes. I think the first year here we saw a snake. Other than that, we really don't have a big bug problem here in Utah. If you live near like Utah Lake, then you have mosquitoes that you can deal with, and there are things that you can get like a Thermacell to help with that, but those will go away as well. Does it get cold here in the wintertime or fall? Typically, it doesn't get super, super cold here in Salt Lake. I'm sure that it does, but since we've lived here 2 years, it hasn't gotten colder than, 18, 15 degrees, which isn't super, super cold. Average temperature somewhere in the 20s, 30s during the wintertime. Does tend to get old after a few months of that, but once spring hits, then it warms up. Snow-wise, we get a massive amount of snow in the mountains, which is awesome. So you can see them, and you go up and snowboard, snow ski, snowmobile, everything you want to do in the snow, you're going to be able to do. However, where we are, and in the Salt Lake City area, and in the Harriman area specifically, we get somewhere between 24 to 48-ish inches of snow. I think we got a little more than that this last year. However, it wasn't all at once, so it wasn't really a big deal for the amount of snow. We were able to drive every day. We do have a 4-wheel drive vehicle and an all-wheel drive vehicle, and had no real issues with getting around anywhere. They plow the roads here super, super good. So that isn't really an issue. Spring is really awesome here, as well as fall with the temperatures 50s to 70s ish. Summertime, then it warms up and we get 80s to 100s. Typically we get a week or two at most where it's above 100. I think we went 107 the first year. This last year wasn't really, really hot. It seemed like it never got super hot this year for us. Maybe I missed that, but it wasn't super, super hot. But The best thing about living here in the Salt Lake City that you will like as well is it's not humid. So it means that after about 6 p.m. at night, sun starts to go down. You can sit outside and relax. And it also doesn't get dark here super late. So you can definitely work all day, then go hit a trail at night before it gets dark, since it doesn't get dark until 9:30 or 10 at night, which is awesome. However, with kids, they don't want to go to bed early because it's still light out. So you got to deal with that. Housing costs, as a licensed real estate in the Salt Lake City area, housing costs are something that I keep my eye on, and as I help relocate people from California to the Salt Lake City area. So when I help people moving to the Salt Lake City area, one thing that they're typically excited about is the cost of housing. And it's typically less here than it is in California. Here you can spend at the starting point somewhere around the $400,000 mark, and then you can go up to $2, $3, $4, $6 million, even more than that. Depends on the area. Average home price that people are purchasing is running in the $600,000 to the $2 million range. That seems to be the sweet spot somewhere in there. So it depends on the size, location, how many bedrooms, all of that goes into that. So it really just depends. And that's one of the things that we will talk about on our Zoom session is the different areas and the pricing. I will put a link in my description below that actually has a list of all the homes for sale in Salt Lake City. That way you can take a look at those and kind of see where your budgeting fits when it comes time to make the move here to Salt Lake. And then you'll know where you want to land. Taxes are another huge reason that people like moving here to Salt Lake City is the taxes, of course. And Utah has a flat tax rate currently 4.65%. It came down from the first year that we were here. So, and that's the same for both personal and corporate. So if you make $1 million a year with your job, or you make $100,000 a year, you're going to pay the same 4.65% rate, which is awesome. I really like that. However, coming from Nashville, where we had no state income tax, it was sort of a negative as far as that goes. But coming from California, amazing. Property taxes here can be lower, and that's going to depend on which county and which area you choose. So we will talk about that if that's important to you. Car registration here is roughly around the $150-ish a year range. So you'll have to see if that's cheaper. You do have to smog your vehicle here. So that runs another, I think $40 is what I paid. And we go to Jiffy Lube, and then they can do the smog. And then they also can register your car. So you get your tags right then and there, and you don't have to go to two places. And it's like $10 extra, but it's well worth not having to deal with the DMV at all. Gasoline prices, they can be cheaper here as well in Salt Lake. You'll pay less in gas tax too. Right now, you're looking at about $3.60 a gallon that I just paid, I think yesterday at Costco. And in Los Angeles, I looked up, it's $5.87 a gallon. So you're going to save roughly in the $1 to $2 a gallon range over California. Sometimes it's 50 cents a gallon difference, just depends. But it's definitely a savings for gasoline here. Education. If you're moving here with children, then education is something that's probably really important to you. And in the Salt Lake City area, we have a wide variety of education choices, both from public schools to private schools. We also have some really good universities, University of Utah, Utah Valley University, where my daughter just graduated with her cooking degree. And if I didn't mention, schooling here is much, much cheaper than California. Once you get the in-state tuition, even the out-of-state tuition is cheaper than schools in California, but in-state, it's really affordable. It just depends what level you're looking at. We also have a really highly rated community college, SLCC. I think it's like the second highest rated community college in the nation. So you can definitely take advantage of higher education here in Utah. Income and jobs. Well, you typically have a good income when you're moving from California. And so whether you can bring that job with you, work remote, or you're going to get a job here, we have a ton of different corporations that are here in the Salt Lake City area. We're pretty business friendly. We have an area in Lehi, which is 30 minutes from Salt Lake. They're called Silicon Slopes, and that's where a bunch of tech companies are at and a bunch of other companies. Cool area to look into, but good jobs can be found here in Utah. It just depends on what industry you're in or what industry you want to get into. I get asked all the time, what about the beach? Well, when we moved here, I thought we would miss the beach. And to be honest, I don't miss it that much. But when I need to scratch that itch, it's a 2-hour flight to LAX or about a 9-hour drive. I think it takes us 9.5 hours. We stop in a town along the way called Beaver, and they have this creamery there where they have awesome grilled cheese sandwiches and ice cream. So if you're on the way on I-15 coming this way to visit or stop in Beaver and go to the creamery, it's amazing. You'll really like the food. And then one other thing that we do sometimes is stop in Las Vegas. So we'll either stay the night in Vegas on the way there or the way back, but we can get a hotel room all the time for like $79 to stay at the Luxor. And that's super awesome. It's cheaper than staying at like a Marriott for sure. But we stay there and then you get to gamble, and they have really good food in Vegas too. We can get nonstop flights from Salt Lake to California, so know that. And we typically will fly into LAX, rent a car, and then we can go visit our family from there. Political differences. This is going to be a big change for you. Utah is a very, very red state, while California is a very, very blue state, other than certain areas of California. The big reason people are moving from California to Salt Lake is they want to get out of the political landscape that California has. So if that's you, then know that you're not alone with people that are moving here from California. Sports. So sports in the Utah area are pretty big. The Utah Jazz is our biggest thing, and that's, if you're an NBA fan, then you will definitely want to go get a game there. College football is probably really close to the NBA as far as popularity, but University of Utah has had a great football team the last 2 years. They played in the Rose Bowl. They did lose both years in a row, so we'll see if they can make it again and actually win the big game this year. BYU also has a pretty good football team, and they're good to watch as well. AAA, we have a baseball team here called the Salt Lake Bees, and they're currently in Salt Lake City, but the people who own it are moving them to South Jordan to the Daybreak area. So that'll make it awesome for me because it'll be like 5 minutes from my house, and we will definitely go to more games because it'll be super convenient. ECHL, so if you're a hockey fan like me, we have the Utah Grizzlies. They are a minor league team for the Colorado Avalanche. They also do this Frozen Fury hockey game here in Salt Lake where the Kings play the Sharks every year. However, I haven't been to that game because I don't like either team. So I don't know how you go watch a sports game where you want both teams to lose. If you've done that before, comment below. Let me know how that worked out for you. We have a professional rugby team here that play called the Utah Warriors. I went the other day to a rugby match. Super cool to watch the game, and I just getting to know like how the rules work and how they play. So the next time I go to a game, I'll know it much, much better, and it'll be a little bit more enjoyable. But the stadium is super nice that they play at. We're trying to get a NHL and MLB team here in Salt Lake. Rumors that we will get an NHL team. Potentially the Phoenix Coyotes are looking to relocate, so that would be amazing. And I believe they would go in Draper where they want to build the new arena, but I don't know. It could be in Salt Lake. They also want to build one for the Utah Jazz, so they probably would share that arena. The MLB team is rumored to be going in the Draper in a place called The Point that they're building, and that's where the site of the old prison was located. They tore it down now. The last tower just came down the other day. So I know moving to Salt Lake City, you'll be giving up your Rams or Golden State Warriors, right? Well, I think you'll really like the sports teams here, and hopefully you can give us a chance. As a transplant to the Salt Lake City, Utah, it's not going to be like California. And that was a big reason that we made the move here to Salt Lake City, is we wanted something different. And I think you do too. If you have questions about moving from California to Salt Lake City, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And like I said, guys, we get phone calls, text, emails every single day from people that are packing up and getting the heck out of California and out here to Salt Lake City. So whether you're looking at moving in 9 days or 90 days, shoot me a text, send me an email. Heck, send the Pony Express. I've got your back if you're moving here to Salt Lake City. I can't wait to show you around Salt Lake City, Utah. So until next time, be rad.